Jets in town.
Only the Jets, gang, and only clueless Kotite. I mean, this kind of stuff just doesn't happen to anybody else, does it? Today at Giant Stadium, the Jets, as you probably know, were expecting Neil O'Donnell back after a 6-week absence due to injury. Well, O'Donnell re-injured himself. He tore a calf muscle while warming up, out for the rest of the season. Unbelievable. What was very believable was the Jets' pathetic lack of effort in their latest loss, 35-10 to the Houston Oilers. And so this is the last we'll see of the Jets' multi-million-dollar bust for some time, as O'Donnell actually had to be helped off the field to the locker room. What an awful, nightmarish year. He never should have left Pittsburgh. Just wanted the extra money to come to New York. That was it. First quarter, Steve McNair finds Frank Wycheck all alone in the end zone. 23-yard score. Oilers break out on top. Jets, of course, fumbled and they bungled all day long. KEYSHAWN Johnson dropping that pass, one of several for the #1 pick. Then in the next play, Reich is sacked and the Jets were forced to punt. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, looking on, clueless as ever, Mr. Kotite himself. Here's the Oilers' first offensive play after the punt. McNair was only 6 for 17 for 142 yards, did have 2 touchdowns. This one to Chris Sanders for 83 yards. As a rookie defensive back, Marcus Coleman was really suckered on the old stop and go. Another rookie, meanwhile, Eddie George, ran roughshod over the Jets in the first half. 35 yards. How does no one touch him on a play like that right up the middle? What were the Jets thinking of? 21-3 Houston. KEYSHAWN did catch the Jets' only touchdown of the day. This 18-yard pass to at least make it 21-10 at halftime, as an announced crowd of 21,000 looked on, but the people who were there say no way there were that many people at the Meadowlands. Reich fumbling there. Houston recovers, and that sets up Eddie George's second touchdown of the day. This one from 2 yards out. Glenn Foley wound up mopping up for Reich with 6 out of 12, 36 yards and an interception, as clueless Kotite and the Jets now fall to 1-12.
We knew he wasn't going to be with us, and I thought that you know, although it was certainly something that we were disappointed in, I was looking for us to step up and make plays and make something happen and meet the adversity. It's the first adversity we have ever met before a game even started, but it didn't work out that way.
Things happen, you know, we're in a situation, you know, I'm going to blame a lot of it on the weather. You know, a lot of the weather factor, we couldn't get a rhythm going. So, you know, that's just the way it is, man. It's nothing to blame on any one individual. You know, everybody tried to play the best that they could play. Obviously, today wasn't our day.
As far as the Jets' failure to stop Eddie George, well, let me make this excuse for them, not the weather. Hey, the kid's good. He's done this to a lot of teams.
We didn't play right. You know, I take responsibility for 80 of these yards because I didn't play, you know, my lane responsibility. He kept running through there. So I take that, you know, just lane responsibility, especially in the middle. And most of the time it came down to me getting cut off or whatever. But, you know, he's a great back.
And now those fumbles. Well, as KEYSHAWN said, hey, look, it was raining hard. The ball was wet. We can't be expected to hold on to the darn thing in that type of weather, can we?
You know, anytime you get pulled from a game, it's very disappointing. You know, you don't want that to happen, but, you know, I'm going out there to try to do the best job I can do. I want to help the team win, and when we don't win, you know, I'm as disappointed as anybody, and, you know, especially if you know, there were 2 fumbles today that hurt the cause.
I don't know what happened. I think I talked to him and talked to, you know, see the film tomorrow, see what happened. You know, they didn't have any problems, so it's really you know, upsets me that we had 3 of them and you know, they were able to handle the conditions, you know, fine. So,
you know, just a wet ball and it slipped through my hands.
Do you take blame for any of those fumbles?
It's not a matter of taking blame. It's just a matter of seeing what went wrong and fixing it and going on from there. I'm not going to point the finger. You know, who knows? You know, it's just, you know, we're both professionals. We shouldn't have that problem, you know, if it is a wet field.
We'll keep them going. I mean, it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. You know, you don't go to a coach's manual and go to a certain page and say, what do you do at 1 and 12? All I know is that everybody's getting paid a lot of good money. And this is the highest level of football. And I believe we have character in that locker room. I believe that all year long. And character keeps you going and gets you to bounce back.
Would they please just put that man out of his misery? This is just unbelievable. Well, anyway, some of the numbers from the game today. Frank Reich, you see Adrian Morel, and so on and so forth. As the Jets set team records for consecutive home losses and no-shows. But again, I wonder if they're not playing fast and loose with those figures, because you can't tell the people who were there today that there were 21,000 fans actually rattling around the stands. And now, before we get to the Rangers and the rest of what's going on,